All right, it's rolling. Thank God. The third time's a charm. Look at that.
That is neat. I need to get one.
Yeah. I want to see a bunch of thumbs up going across that we got you live. Show me that we're live. Things are going. Got one. Let's see, guys. This is not the office. No flag in the background. All right, give me some thumbs up. A little bit of a special treat for you guys tonight. All right, I'm at Cicero Police Department out here in the Chicago area, and I've been unbelievably humbled to be sitting with these two gentlemen. I got Detective. Please introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm Detective Robert Alvarado. I've been with the unit now going on about 4 years. I've been with the department overall 11, and still the best job in the world despite of some of the stuff that's going on.
And then Sgt Stroud?
Yes, I am Sgt Sgt Stroud. I'm with the Cicero Police Department for the past 18 years, and I'm currently on midnight shift. So in a couple hours, I'll be starting my day.
Can you guys hear us okay? I want to see a bunch of thumbs up. All right. Then a big request. Share. Start sharing the living crap out of this video. There's a purpose why I'm here tonight. I got a call from somebody a couple of days ago, actually, about a fundraiser that's going on in Cicero. And here's the deal. You guys know that a lot of people wind up emailing me and saying, hey, can you help us out with notifications? And I absolutely do my best. I can't reach out to all of you guys, but this is close to home. This is in the area, and this is something that I absolutely plan on attending. So I'm thinking it's a great personal favor to me if you guys wind up sharing this information. Get it out there now. But I purposely didn't want to hear a lot of the details first because I wanted to hear at the same time you guys are hearing this. So all I know is that on December 8th, right?
Correct.
December 8th, there's a fundraiser going on for 3 Cicero police officers. And I'm going to have the detective and the sergeant tell you guys about them and their backstory. And I'm going to ask you to share, and I'm going to tell you to donate. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. These are our warriors. Donate. Don't think about it. Hit the button, reach in your pocket, donate. These men and women absolutely deserve your support, period. But can you tell us about what's going on?
First of all, I want to thank you, Dominic, for having this, letting us be on your forum. We greatly appreciate it. We're huge fans, and please support Dominic also.
Thank you.
Our fundraiser is for 3 of our police officers who have been dramatically injured. Let me first tell, it's going to be December 8th, like Dominic said, at 6 p.m. at Crystal Sky Banquet Hall, and that is at 7941 West 47th Street in McCook, 60525. It is from 6 p.m. to midnight. What that includes is a 4-hour open bar, dinner, a DJ, plenty of prizes. We're going to be a raffle and having a good time. First prize is $1,500. Second prize is $1,000, and third prize is $500. We're trying to raise money for these 3 officers. The first officer I'd like to talk to about is the one that was approximately 2 years ago. His name is Alberto Paleo.
Can you set a little bit of the scene for that? That's the one thing is when police work, we give a lot of facts, but you know what? It's the one thing that people can't understand what we do is, or what you guys do. I'm no longer part of it, but you guys get to see the aggravation, the emotion, and they get the reports.
Yes.
They get the summation of the events that happened based on a report. I want people to know exactly what these men were to you, or are to you, excuse me, and how they're your family, and why it's damn well important for them to get involved and them to vote or to contribute.
First, Alberto Paleo. He's been with the Cicero Police Department approximately 20 years. He started out as a part-timer, then was able to get a full-time position as a patrolman, worked his way up to a detective. On the day of the incident, he's responding to vehicular hijacking. Someone with a gun is robbing a vehicle, so he responds. Even though he's not in the patrol division, he's a detective who usually responds afterwards. He was, so into it, he wanted to help.
Yeah,
so,
and you guys and your detectives, are you guys like ours? They don't have full equipment.
No.
So he's got less gear on than most people do.
Exactly.
And he still responds.
Still respond because that is the type of person he is. Loves the job. So he responds, and a car strikes him, and that's where it goes bad. He sustained horrible injuries. a fractured vertebrae. He needed 8 screws, multiple surgeries, a couple fused discs. It's pretty much the same surgery that Peyton Manning had, where they had to fuse the disc. Now they will not allow Officer Palaio to come back because of the seriousness of the injuries. He's had multiple surgeries. He's a father of 4. So for the past couple of years, besides going to physical therapy constantly and having these surgeries, just a lot of pain. And now, starting November 13th, he is probably going to not be part of the Cicero Police Department, and he's devastated.
Okay, I'm sure emotionally, absolutely no question.
To be part of your life for 20 years and your family, and it's really a difficult time right now for him. He needs a lot of help, but November 13th is the hearing for probably his last day. So that is why he's involved in this fundraiser.
This is Maria who joined us. Maria actually got a hold of me. She asked me, would I be willing to help? And after about a 30-second phone call, it was a no-brainer. So I asked her to join too tonight. This is very important for everyone here. So you're starting to hear, if you're just joining right now, we're out of the studio today. I'm at Cicero Police Department out here. It's in the Chicago area. And there's a fundraiser going on for not 1, but 3 of their warriors, 3 of their officers. And I'm going to tell you flat out, we're going to put the link up in the comment section a little bit. No ifs, ands, or buts. You guys can add $1. You guys can add $5. The amount of the power of micro donations is unbelievable. If 20,000 of you watch this video and you donate $5, what you can do for this department is amazing. If you donate $10, what you can do for this department is unbelievably amazing. So I'm asking you to listen to these stories, play this on the replay, share with your friends. These warriors deserve this. And if you support me, then you're going to do what I ask on this. And this is very important to me. So you've already heard about one officer who was hit head-on, is looking at retiring from his career forcibly due to injury. And that's 1 of 3. There's 2 more.
The second officer is Officer Ricardo Sanchez. He is also married and has 4 children. I'm going to show a little picture of this beautiful family right here. 3 little girls and a little boy, and his beautiful wife, Teresa. This is him now. What happened to Rick, who is also a Marine, gave his service first to the entire country and now to Cicero Police Department. Been on the job approximately 8 years. Went to become a detective, which was his lifelong dream. However, to spend more time with his family, because he cares about more of his family, he went from the detective division back down to patrol division.
Probably killed him a little bit too.
Yes,
sacrifice.
yes, a huge sacrifice, and he loved doing that job, helping people, investigate crimes. So earlier this year, May, he was taking a report, like most police officers do, multiple times every day. He hears a call of another officer needing assistance, a man with a gun. He doesn't just stay there and continue doing a report. He goes and helps fellow officers.
That's what you guys don't understand. You heard the first officer says that responded to a hijacking with a gun. It has less equipment, and sometimes dicks don't even wear vests. All right, and these warriors have this mindset of there's no second guessing. You have no idea the passion of a police officer, first year or 25th year, where they just think, and it's a reaction, it's a natural reaction. How these men and women do not deserve your help, do not deserve your support, is unbelievably unknown to me. So you have to understand that these people don't think they act for you. They are acting for you, so they deserve your help.
Thank you. Continue a little more story about Rick. He's an absolutely wonderful human being. All 3 of these officers are wonderful human beings, but the heart that Rick has, it hurts me to know that he's in pain every single day. So he responded to this man with a gun, and approximately a block later, while he has lights and sirens on, an intoxicated subject strikes him. And I'll give you a couple pictures of what the scene looked like. He was knocked unconscious, and here's his vehicle in flames. He was currently in the car just prior to this. Some citizens, which we're huge in the community of appreciating us working together, pulled Rick out of the vehicle because he's unconscious, and the car went in flames. So without those citizens, he would be probably not here with us today. So again, we love our Cicero community, and so that's why we're doing this, and we need help from you. Police are very proud people. It's very difficult for us to ask for help, but we desperately need your help.
It's not difficult for me. It's not difficult for me whatsoever, and that's the problem. Is I get people who meekly and very respectfully say, "Would you mind helping?" It's not an issue. You know, I'm out of the game. I don't have to abide by policy. I don't have to abide by rules and regulations. I can shoot my mouth off and say help for the men and women who won't open their mouths to help, because they are stubborn, they are proud, they are very independent, they're amazing people, and they deserve your help. There's no question.
And they didn't reach out either.
No, and that's just it. Here's an event going on. I didn't hear about it until a citizen had to reach out to me. That just shows you the class, the unbelievable class of law enforcement.
Here's a couple other pictures of the scene. Showed you where he was on fire. Just the extent of the damage of a Ford Explorer, which is large. It's not a regular squad car. It's just tremendous. Another one, here's the aftermath of Rick in the hospital. Really not knowing exactly what happened at all.
Thank God for that.
To this day, he still does not know.
Oh, thank God.
Due to that accident, he sustained a large laceration on his head, which required 23 stitches. And with that huge laceration, it was part of his forehead and eye. Now he suffers tremendous migraines, sensitivity to light, and memory and speech. Here's a man who was tremendously articulate, intelligent, and now he's having difficulty to speech or remember what happened the day before.
I'm sure that's very difficult for you guys. That's huge. And his family, 4 children.
Yes. He was a tremendously involved father who did things with his children every day, gave up part of his career to spend more time with them. Now he's having difficulty being around them always because they are so young. They don't understand. They don't understand daddy's hurt. Not only the physical marks, but the internal of the pain, the suffering through his head, through his whole body, because it was such a traumatic injury to him. And he's suffering every day.
And that's the one thing you guys don't realize is the aftermath. Sure, you look at your men and women in blue, and you don't think about them being shot or them being in an accident, and that's that, right? It's the human body. You don't look at the aftermath. You don't look at how it affects their family life. You have no idea the rebuilding that they have to do is. You take somebody who is as proud as these officers, and they're injured, and they can't do their job. You've seen what I've gone through, and you've seen me and my pride suffer. You've seen me, take a rung down, and I've had to rebuild myself. Imagine what it's like to be injured on duty, traumatically, and have your job taken from you, and the rebuilding that has to be done emotionally, how it affects your family. I'm lucky. No marriage, no kids. I don't have that family that depends on me. These officers have that. It's important that you get involved. There's rebuilding. There's a ton of work behind the scenes that nobody wants to pay attention to because, what's the crap saying that some of you say? They signed up for it. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Get involved. Get involved.
Yes, we are police officers, but at the end of the day, we're also just human beings. We go home to our families, hopefully every day. We care. We do things. We do sports. Now these officers can't do that or interact with their families. So this is a police story, and these are police officers. But the main thing is they're human beings, and they're for an extended time. And then in Officer Palaio's right now, he's lost his career forever.
Yeah.
So we hope Officer Sanchez makes a recovery. It's a long recovery. He goes to physical therapy and speech therapy 5 times a week. And currently to help try to heal, he's in a hyperbaric chamber.
And none of that is inexpensive.
No. So we would ask that, that you help as much as possible. It would be greatly appreciated.
Again, that's humility. I'm not humble. Get involved. Ask. Or donate. Get involved. As soon as I want to get the link up there, I'm going to ask you guys repeatedly to click the button and donate and get involved.
Our third officer, this officer has been with the Cicero Police Department over 20 years. However, before that, she was part of the Chicago Housing Authority.
Oh, okay, yeah, CHA.
CHA, and
My
then
old partner was with them.
Then that was disbanded, and then she came to us, and she's been here approximately 20 years. This incident happened off duty, which a lot of times things happen. We do normal things. It was her dream to have a horse. So she was able to get a horse. Only after riding it a couple times, it got spooked, threw her off the horse, and broke her pelvis, punctured both of her lungs, and broke 8 ribs. And she's been off duty for now approximately 3 months. We make a good salary. You know what? We're not tremendously rich. We don't do this profession for money. So a lot of our income to make sure we provide for our family is overtime, side jobs. So all these officers can't do that also.
People don't understand that the salary officers make and the insurance, it does not cover to the extent of what needs to be done for the most part on several levels. It's not like your NFL players who you got a bad knee ache and then all of a sudden, you get a shot and you're able to kneel. You're not taken care of as a cop as the way you think you are. And again, a lot of police officers, they're so humble, they will not tell you about their burdens. It just won't happen. But if you have an opportunity to wind up helping them, you got to jump on it. These are people who will purposely, without question, put themselves in harm's way for you. 20 years, an officer with 20 years. You can't imagine, and for those of you who don't know the Cicero area, know how community-oriented it is, and go check out the challenges they face, and ask yourself what an officer of 20 years did for this town, and what you should do in return. This is not a community issue, this is a nationwide issue, which is I'm telling you to get involved.
We've opened up a few accounts for these officers, if I could give those.
Yes, please do. Yes.
First one is UCaring. It's https www.ucaring.com/Rick Sanchez.
And that's going to be YOU. Where's that at one so you can see that one? All right, so it's UCaring, YOU, Young Ocean Union, caring.com. Rick Sanchez, and for somebody who winds up finding it, put in the link, and I'll definitely put it up later, and I'm going to be putting this all over the website and the Facebook page later on, so don't worry about missing it now. But ucaring.com/Rick Sanchez, common spelling. There's a dash after it, 944957. You got another another UCaring. That's Sandra Brown. Sandra Brown, UCaring. 950-161, and then 9linewarriors.org. Now, 9linewarriors.org, is that going to have this information on there too?
Yes.
Perfect. So to solve all this easy problem, go to 9, N-I-N-E, 9linewarriors.org, .org, 9linewarriors.org, and we'll place it up there. And if somebody could please put that in the comment section for me, that'd be fantastic.
Just again, if you are interested to make a donation, purchase a ticket. We would love for you to come to our event. We'd love to see you. We'd love, to associate with us. We're one with the community. We want you to come here and have a good time with us and show your support for these officers. We would absolutely love it. This isn't just a police function. This is hopefully a community business function that we all can come together for one great purpose, which is to help these officers.
Now, if you guys keep asking me, what can we do? What can we do for our officers? How can we support them? How can we support them? Sure, this is a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser, right? If you're in the Cicero, Chicago area, and you drive through the streets here, not just if you're not a resident, now you have your own answer to your question of coming to an event and shaking an officer's hands and opening a dialogue. I hardly think you're going to get an officer who you walk up to and say, hey, what's your thoughts about XYZ? You're either going to get a dialogue or you're going to get a handshake and a, hey, I can't talk about that, and that's it. But you have an opportunity now in an informal setting to get to know your police. Either you live here, you live around here, you drive through here, or you're a supporter of the police, come and get involved. Detective, you were involved a little bit more personally with one of these officers.
Yes, well, I want to take this opportunity to say, first of all, thank you for giving us, again, this forum, this opportunity to talk to your viewers. Thank you for the viewers. I was seeing the likes earlier, and that's great to see. I also want to thank Maria from Nine Line Warriors. I had reached out to her through a mutual coworker, a friend, who said, hey, you know what, she's great. She has an organization for vets to help support them, both financially and other. And ever since I contacted her, we're here now. We're speaking to you guys. What she's done has been astronomical and just amazing in terms of the amount of donations and awareness that we're trying to generate. There's a couple things that I want to say about these three officers. I've had the privilege of working with them for now, I want to say about 12 years. And out of the 12 years, we know that there's a certain viewpoint from society in terms of how they view police, right? Myself, growing up in Chicago, I unfortunately had some bad interactions, not because I was doing anything wrong, but just the perception that I had of police. So I never had any desire to get into this line of work. And since I've been on, I can honestly say it's been an amazing journey. I hope to continue my journey here till retirement. And the thing is, establish continued dialogue with the community. But this is the thing. We all see this kind of thin blue line pattern, and there's great significance with that. So for all the LEOs that are watching this, I'm not one to solicit, neither is my sergeant. As Dominic said, we are, for the most part, proud people. But when you see one of your own suffering, both financially, physically, mentally, psychologically, it takes a toll on you. And you know what? I think it forces one, especially us, to step up to the plate and say, hey, they need help. This is the time and opportunity to say, put our money where our mouth is. With politics and society's viewpoint and all this stuff aside, at the end of the day, when we have the thin blue line, it's because we're supposed to have one another's back, both on the street, in our homes, and so forth. So I encourage you to please donate, share it, tweet it, take the awareness out, bring the awareness out rather, because the thing is this: if and when this hits viral, the significance that these officers' life will be greatly impacted by the amount of financial contributions coming in. I could just tell you right off the bat that Rick's page is roughly at about $6,000. And now to many, that's, hey, well, that's great. But when you go through the extensive therapies and medical costs, it adds up. When you're seeking alternative forms of therapy that insurance doesn't necessarily cover, it adds up. When you've been accustomed to working side jobs and part-time jobs and getting overtime, and you no longer have that, and now you have to sort of downgrade your lifestyle because you have a family of 4 to feed, it's significant, especially when you're the sole provider. And that's the case for these officers. In particular, I can tell you a little bit about Ricardo. He's a close and personal friend of mine. I was his FTO roughly about 8 years ago now, and I knew that the minute we met, we hit it off. And once he passed his probationary period, we formed a bond and an alliance like no other. And to see him now go through what he's going through is emotionally draining. It's kind of lit a fire under me as well as Sergeant here, to get the awareness out that, this is just one of how many officers per day that suffer in the line of duty injuries. And unfortunately, this may be a career-ending injury for him. As my sergeant said earlier, when you know someone who's so bright and articulate, from one day to the next, suffer and see what they're going through, it's hard to swallow. With Rick's condition, it's very particular because after the initial accident, which ironically, when he went to help people they end up saving his life. He's gone through this series where we initially thought Rick's going to be fine. He seems okay. He was talking. He was coherent. And then he suffered what's called post-concussion syndrome, which in essence then led to a traumatic brain injury. And that's what he has right now. He has brain damage. And the viewers out there, you don't know Rick the way we know Rick. But when you think of a police officer, that's the person that you expect on the street in uniform, as well as the other two officers. So, again, I just greatly encourage you guys, share it, tweet it, donate. If you have something that you think will be worth the value that we can raffle off at the fundraiser, please do so. We have links both on Nine Line Warriors, Facebook page, and then numerous other departments that are aware of it that are trying to get the word out. But again, the greatest impact will be, we can say we love you and we care about you, but when you can help someone financially and get them through this time, they can worry and concentrate on their healing and not have to worry about the financial burdens put upon them.
I'm listening to this, and I don't know you guys. I've never met you before, but I know that every department has, no matter how much we say it is, it's a family, and you got the people you can't stand that you work with, and you can't stand them, but you'll have their back on a call, and then you'll brush them off afterwards, and sometimes you'll MF them later on. You got the people you've worked with who they've seen you at your worst. And I mean, if you guys just read the story I wrote about why I don't like Halloween, my former sergeant and I, everybody's got a story from law enforcement where you build a bond that is like no other, because when you go through taking care of other people, which is what these men and women serve for, you become better people and they become better coherent as a family. So, you guys, I don't know what the emotions these guys are going through, because I didn't met them. I never worked for Cicero. I have no idea who these officers are. But it's starting to make me think about my guys that I worked with, and dear God, what would happen if somebody that I cared for was injured? And what would happen if, my partner was hurt on duty or an off-duty accident? And I would tell you, everybody of you who's worked out there in this profession, you know what it's like to, on some level, have a personality conflict, or you're close to somebody, and it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, they're still yours. They still belong to you because they're part of your family. So if you can appreciate and respect that aspect of it, you guys got to get involved. There's no question. On my end, every dollar we make from the tees from here till the event is going to go for this. So if you guys go to izzo.us and you get a Warrior Legion tee, every dollar is going to go to that. So if you don't have yours yet, get it, and then we'll make the funds available so you guys can make sure that they are going to this. That's not a question at all.
Thank you so much for that.
Oh my God, not a problem at all. Get a Warrior Legion tee and then post it. We'll tag you, we'll put you up there, and then we'll show that your photo, we will show who you are supporting this event. On a more positive note, you guys just had an extremely outstanding service situation handled with your department.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Yes, I will go over it. You might have seen it in the news 2 nights ago. Approximately around 2:30 in the morning, our officers were driving around and they see smoke. They respond to a fire of a residence. Multiple officers see family members out in front of the residence, see a woman screaming, please help, my child's trapped in the house. Now, we're police officers, we're not firemen, but this is what we do. We care about the community so much and the lives, and not thinking of themselves one bit. They proceed to get them secure. They force entry into the residence. They're engulfed by smoke and fire with no fire equipment at all. They hear a faint cough and scream.
Over all of that.
Over all this, they crawl on the floor. They about 15 feet away from the front door. They locate partially unconscious 11-year-old child. They pick him up. They drag him outside, and he's not breathing. So more officers respond. They do CPR on the subject, and he again starts to breathe. It warmed my heart so much. And then, it's not over. We have to, the whole entire house is on fire. So it's now, Cicero, it's a very close community. Mm-hmm. The houses are very close.
Correct.
So other houses start on fire. So we have to get all the other people out. Approximately 23 people were displaced. So we immediately have to place them in vehicles because it was approximately 30 degrees.
Cold that night.
Tremendously. Here, this is 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, people are sleeping. So we're getting them all in the house, get them in the police squad cars, let the fire department do their wonderful job that they do. And then we contact Red Cross and we were able to place them in homes, you know, I wish the child the best. He currently is in stable condition at Loyola Medical Center. He went through a lot. The families went through a lot. They lost their home. They lost everything. And it hurts us, seeing things like this, unfortunately, on a daily basis. Today in New York, the horrible crimes of somebody running over 20-something odd people, not for any reason that they did something wrong to them or anything like that. And it was just out of malice. And as everyone was running away, the New York Police Department proceeded to run toward this and place the subject in custody. And hopefully we'll learn intelligence from this subject to try to end this violence, unwanted, unwarranted violence toward Americans.
Do you get the mentality? Do you get why I'm so pro-police? Do you get any of this stuff? None of you can understand or comprehend what it's like to be working midnights, 2:30 in the morning. It's cold out. It seems like Cicero was like my department, where it doesn't have a lot of streetlights in the urban or in the residential areas, and it's quiet. And you can get out of your car, and it's still not at the point where you got to wear your double layers yet. You're still in your single layers, so you're cold. You're freezing cold. And then if you've stood even 100 feet from a house that's burning, you have no clue how hot that is. As a cop, they're not wearing protective gear like the fire department. Not to mention the fact you have no idea how fast this stuff goes up. Yeah. You have no clue how it melts it up. You kick in a door, you've all seen backdraft, you know what happens. That's smoke. If you have never experienced smoke inhalation on a one breath level, you're clueless to what it's like. So these officers crawled in 15 feet to crawl in duty gear, unable to see. And then the aftermath. Well, I don't know these guys, but I will tell you that they felt some level of guilt that A, they couldn't do more, and B, now they have to watch the horror and the sadness of other people who lost their lives, their homes, or their everything in their homes. That's what this is about. Yes, I'm very honored that New York wound up went through. We talked about that last night extensively. We talked about NYPD, we talked about CPD, we talked about LAPD, all the big areas. But if you guys don't start getting a little bit more involved in your local departments, you don't understand what this is really about. This is why I'm so pro law enforcement, pro first line responder, pro warriors. You guys have to get involved. You got a hold of me. Talk a little bit about why this means something to you. Otherwise, I won't shut up.
Oh, that's fine. Well, basically, I've been following you for a long, long time.
Thank you.
And one of the things that you're so adamant about is pro-law, pro-military. And again, we basically came across each other's paths because of a friend. And so I said,
He's also a police officer.
Police officer, here for Cicero as well. And I thought, well, how else to get the word out other than somebody who has like 80,000 followers, right? So I just figured I would reach out, and not even with the hopes that you would help. I knew you would. Just a matter of, we had to figure out our schedule to do it.
Absolutely. It was a no-brainer. For me, it's easier, guys. A lot of you ask, but this is close to home. This is my backyard. For those of you who are going to see this on YouTube later on tonight, please share this as well, too. There's 11 million of you who watch this YouTube channel. So if you donate 50 cents, I think that they'll be more appreciated for the rest of their lives.
Don, I wanted to say something. I didn't want to interrupt you. But
of course, please, Don. It's better if you do.
You said something to the effect earlier that, I'm not really in it anymore like you guys are. But I beg to differ. You are in the trenches with us, and this is a perfect example of the thin blue line. You hear of a story of officers that are in need, right? Unfortunately, public has a perception of police officers. Not all, but we have a certain demographic that thinks law enforcement officers are evil. But we know better than that. We know with what we see day in and day out how difficult it is to go through some of the stuff we've gone through. what the sergeant said is a perfect example of what these officers did, and will do again in a heartbeat. And it's just, this is why I love the job. This is why my mindset had changed when I got on. But the thing is, you are in the trenches with us. You know, and I can't even thank you. We can't thank you enough, and Maria as well, because of the awareness, because of, you know, the 80,000 plus. If I could just paint a picture for you viewers. So in Cicero, we border Chicago on two sides, and you guys, I'm sure, have heard a lot about Chicago as of late in terms of, you know, unfortunately, the homicide rate and the issues that they're having, and some of that spills over in our township. And you know, yeah, we still have community residents that, when, for instance, Rick, he had his accident, they came to his aid, and that's something you don't hear too often. You know, I hate to sound whatever, but police officers do heroic acts every day that go unheard and unknown. And how much, you know, less do we hear of community residents coming to the aid of a police officer, effectively saving his life? They pulled him out of a burning vehicle, and like Dominic said, you know, we've all worked burning vehicles, burning houses. I mean, it's like that. It's instant. It's nothing like the movies. It's nothing like TV shows. The officers that came to the aid of this child, they put themselves in harm's way. And, you know, I don't know all the details, just a little bit from what I heard, but it's amazing. And, you know, we're really relying on the LEO community that's watching this right now, friends and family. You know, please just share. You know, I said that earlier, and I'm kind of harping on that, but there's a reason for this. We know that you can make this hit viral. We know that you can take this to another level. And again, I can't thank Dominic enough for this opportunity. This is great. It's awesome. And we need this. We need dialogue with the community. Yes. We need dialogue with you because, you know, unfortunately, there are things that we still need to get better at. Nothing's perfect, and it's going to be like that. But we need the community to understand where we're coming from. It's not too often that I think you see law enforcement seek the community's help when it comes to officers in need, and this is one time.
To touch base, something you said a little bit earlier, Dominic, you know, come say hi to us. Mm-hmm. We absolutely love it. We love when we can have a positive interaction with the public. The last thing we ever want to do is arrest somebody. That's you know, the number one thing we want, you know, to serve you. To serve the public. And when you interact with us, it is fantastic. When we get to know families, you know, for years, I've been here 18 years.
You said you've been here 18 years.
Yes.
And you have seen boys and girls become men.
Yes.
Men and women and adults.
Have children. And, you know, to have those type of relationship. You know what? You know, when don't just come up and hug us, but you know. But I've had, you know, people, you know. And this is why I've never called this a job. Mm-hmm. I call it a profession because I love what I do, and I love the community. I grew up here. I went to school here, and now I'm able to serve the community. It's a lifelong dream. So, you know, come up to us, say hi. You know what? And after you say hi, I will hug you because, you know what? I love the community. You know, we want to keep everyone safe. We want to keep the people that come in our community, you know, pass through, you know, that come shop or you know, eat. You know, we have wonderful restaurants here. You know, it's everything. We want you to be a part of us. We want to be together because, you know, to keep a community and our state, our country close together, we need everyone to work together. It's plain and simple. And I'm glad we're able to work together with you. With Maria, it's fantastic. You know, we've already had great response from businesses. You know, more businesses. We would greatly appreciate it. Maria has her organization is a 501c, so you can, you know, write it off. You know, no problem. Just give me a call. I'll give my number. I don't care. 708-363-0625. Or if you don't want to call, you could email me. jstroud@thetownofcicero.com. I need your help. These officers need your help. And anything you could do would be greatly appreciated.
Do something. Get involved. You guys, it's 9linewarriors.org. We'll give you all the information there, 9linewarriors.org. You could go to izzo.us gear. Every t-shirt dollar goes to this. There's no questions whatsoever, or just donate. If you don't want to get involved, then donate. You'll see the contribution buttons. If you're in the area, December 8th, all this information is going to be put back up. Come say hi. I'll be there. These guys are going to be there. It's a chance for you to come up and tell me you got a problem in my face, for the love of God. I don't care. But I'm going to be surrounded by people who will take care of me. That said, anything else that you guys want to add on a personal level? Or
these are the tickets. They're $100 each. And again, that goes for open bar, dinner, a DJ. There's going to be tons of raffle prizes, 50-50 split the pot. First prize is $1,500. Second prize $1,000. Third prize $500. And again, it's at Crystal Sky Banquet in McCook, Illinois, 7941 West 47th Street. And I would love to see you there. And I'll even give you a hug. I'll even have a hugging session.
Hug booth.
Hug booth. It's fine. It would be great to see you there.
Detective, anything else?
No, I want to say I would love to see, same thing, we love to see you guys out there. This is an opportunity where we can, as a community, as a police department, get to know one another, get to know these officers that we're talking about. It's one thing for us to kind of share the story and give you a frame of who they are, but until you meet them and see them and know their genuineness, then you understand why we're here, why we're seeking support, and then it's just going to all make sense. Aside from the fundraiser, at the fundraiser, we're going to acknowledge those that saved this officer's life. How great is that we can get back to the community and say thank you for what you did. If it wasn't for these 4 individuals, Rick would no longer be with us, and that's guaranteed. That's absolute truth. And so come out. We're going to have a good time. Music. There's going to be a 4-hour open bar. Food, and just a great time. We're going to just have some great camaraderie and a couple laughs, hopefully, and supporting great causes.
Anything else you got?
I think they pretty much covered it. It's pretty good. If you guys want to buy tickets, you can also do it through 9linewarriors.org. We're going to post all the information as well, and we have a flyer that we're going to post up as well that has all the information for the detective, sergeant, myself. So if you want a ticket and you can't make it out to Cicero, it's fine, no worries. Just go ahead and you can pay through PayPal, and we can actually mail it out to you.
And I'm sorry, just to piggyback, any checks that are written for raffle tickets or just for general donation could be made out to the Cicero Police FOP Lodge number 2.
Fantastic. Detective, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Appreciate
so
that.
much.
Sergeant,
Dominic,
Thank
you so much.
Guys, get a hold of me if you have any questions whatsoever regarding this. Email me, call me, text me, doesn't make a difference. And get off your ass and donate. Take care of these guys because they take care of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Bye, guys.